Find here. Hello, everyone. You're welcome. You're welcome. Please, as you join us, let me know where you are watching from. Let me know where you're watching from. Yes, welcome to the Future of Work virtual conference. We have our delectable speaker for today, John Iyoha. And before we get into his bio, I'd like to just share a little backstory to the reason why we are doing this, right? So going before Africa for the past 6 years, we have committed our time and our resources to curating learning experiences for university students and young people generally. The reason why we are particular about university students is because from research, we saw that a lot of university students were graduating from the school, but they were not equipped with the economic skills to thrive, and it's usually overwhelming when you leave the university, right? A controlled environment, and then you're now forced to face, the reality of adulting, like we call it in this part. And so, what we've done for the past 6 years is to bring speakers, experts, trainers to come and share knowledge as it relates with the things that we need to know about the evolving workspace. And it's very important because there's nothing as disheartening as graduating from the university and not being able to find a job, or not even worse, not being employable, right? And that's the reason why we have curated these learning experiences for you. And so at this point, I would urge that if you know any young person or any university students that ought to be here, you do well to share this link with them so that they can join us. Yes. Share this link with them so they can join us. I'm excited. John has a lot that he's going to be sharing with us today. This is the Future of Work virtual conference and is tagged Skills for the Future of Work. Today, John Iyoha will be speaking to us about business skills and the future of work, right? The reason why we decided to do a bit of business is because in today's workspace, you have to think like a business person to be able to thrive, right? You have to think like a business person. You are not just employed, to get paid. You are employed to bring value, to solve problems, right? And whilst you're doing that, you are employed to solve problems that result in organizational growth. The effect of that is that people identify you by the value that you bring. It's the same thing with the business. You start a business to solve a problem, right? And because of how efficient you are with solving that problem, people begin to rally around you and all of that. And so we have John Iyoha, who has had an extensive experience in the area of business, and so he's going to be sharing with us business skills and the future of work. Right? So please share the link, get your friends to join us here. We're excited, we're pumped up. Shortly, we're going to read his bio so you really know, especially for persons who are not familiar with John Iyoha, you really know what he's about, what he's been doing for the past 15 years of his career. And I hope that by the time you are done with the session today, you'll be able to find actionable points. I'm sure you are going to find actionable points. The question is, would you take a chance, take a chance with yourself to apply the things that you learn, right? Would you take a chance with yourself to apply the things that you learn? Yes, this is Going Before Africa. We've been around for 6 years. We started the community basically to help university students prepare for the evolving job market, to ensure that university students have the skills to thrive, the skills to find paid employment, the skills to find their path in the world. The world is becoming overcrowded. So how do university students stand out with the right set of skills, with the right set of experiences, with the right set of knowledge? How do they stand out so that they don't only attract the opportunities that they desire, but they are able to grow in whatever career path that they choose, right? Thank you very much for joining us. Please, if you're joining us, I'd like you to leave a comment so that I can know who is watching, and then we can keep it interactive. Yes, 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 yes. I'm excited to have you. Leave your comments so I can know who is watching. I see that we have some amazing persons watching us. Leave your comments so that I can know who is watching. Yes. So we'll go straight into John Iyoha's bio. And then once we're done with the bio, we'll bring him up. Yes, 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 yes. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. Do well to subscribe to our channel. Do well to subscribe to our channel. Do well to subscribe. Do well to subscribe. Yes. We also want to hear from you. Follow us on our YouTube channel. Follow us on social media. We are on Instagram. We're on Facebook. We're on LinkedIn. We're on Twitter. Follow us and let's engage. You have questions, please do well to ask your questions by the time we're done. And peradventure, peradventure you're not able to, peradventure you're not able to ask your question here, you can send us a DM on any of our platform. And also you can join our virtual campus community. So we have a virtual campus community where we engage with university students, young people generally, and we create an opportunity for them to tell us what they want to learn. And so with that kind of information, what we now do is to reach out to people that we know are able to deliver valuable content in that line. And so we enjoin you to be a part of that community. We're going to put up the link in. I'm going to put up the link right now so that you can join in. Put up the link on so that you can join in. Yes. Are you excited to be here? You're welcome, Oyibo Compassion. What a beautiful name. You're welcome. You're welcome. So that's the link. That's the link to join our virtual campus community. It's in the comments. You can get it in the comments. You can also get it on any of our social media platform. Or you can just send us a DM and then we'll respond with the link. Yes, yes, yes. So what are some of the things that we are passionate about here at Going Before That? One of the things we are passionate here about Going Before That is we are passionate about helping young people find their voice. We are passionate about helping young people gain the requisite skills that they need to change the world. Apart from gaining the right set of skills to, to influence your career journey, apart from gaining, the requisite skills to get paid employment, we are passionate about young people who want to learn these skills and they have something that is driving them, something they want to change about the world. And so that's one of the reasons why we do what we do. We go overboard to do what we do. Yes, we have tons of testimonials. We have young people doing amazingly for themselves. We have people who have gone from not knowing what they wanted to do to knowing what they want to do and thriving in that path. And so we believe strongly because we've seen the testimonials of these people. We feel, yes, we can create the same experiences for other young persons who are looking to learn these skills, young persons who are looking to, to escape the clutches of the current experiences in the universities here in the global south. And so we enjoin you to be a part of our community. We have exciting events, exciting programs, exciting activities that we engage. One of which is there's a new initiative that we just recently launched, which is the Market Day for enterprising university students who, peradventure, you're looking for a community where you can find, customers for your product, or people that would buy into your social impact project. We have a community where you can always share those ideas with us, and then we get you connected. Thank you very much for staying. Thank you very much for inviting your friends. If you've not done that, please hurry, copy the link to this video and share with your friends. Share on your WhatsApp status, share on your Instagram, share everywhere, and make sure people are joining us here. It's going to be an exciting time. So we're just going to dive right into John Iyoha's bio. And once we are done with his bio, we are going to go straight into what we have planned. Yes.
John Iyoha is a business developer, personal development tutor, and business trainer, coach, and facilitator with a manifest ability at helping businesses start, grow, sustain, and succeed. Some common subjects he's renowned for teaching are corporate and personal branding, organizational development, business continuity, effective communication, public speaking, and personal branding. John is certified by the German Agency for International Cooperation GIZ and GAPA Worldwide Consultant as a trainer, facilitator, coach in entrepreneurship and employability. He is also a GIZ CEDID Green Innovation Hub certified organizational development trainer and facilitator. He has trained thousands on many platforms, including the company he co-founded, Mindship Consultancy and Services, where business owners are guided to success through proven methods and strategies. Some of the platforms he has worked with include Visual Technologies, Azura Power, the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President, the Edo State Skills Development Agency, Hewlett Packard Learning Initiative for Entrepreneur, Romance Page Global, International Organization for Migration, Sabi Hub, GOPA Worldwide Consultants, Jobberman Nigeria, Leading Ladies Africa, Ideal Development and Resource Center, and many more. He is a graduate of Business Administration from the University of Benin, a celebrated TEDx speaker, and a reformational youth leader and mentor to many. He is married to the beautiful Treasure Ernest Iyoha. Ladies and gentlemen, let's make welcome John Iyoha.
You're welcome. You're welcome, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah. Okay. 1 second.
Okay, guys. Oh, great. Great to have you, sir.
Great to be here. Well done.
Awesome. Awesome. We want to really say we're excited to have you here. We're excited to have you join us.
Thank you. It's amazing to be here.
We're excited to have you join us. So, like you've heard, your bio has been played. Really, really,
Yep.
really engaging. We are excited for all that we get to learn here today. So, like I've been speaking, about what we are doing here at Go Before Further. We know that a lot of the time, university students cannot pay premium to access the mentorship that they need. But one thing that we know for sure is that there's so much potential lying dormant within them. And so we go over and above to ensure that we bring premium speakers like yourself to help us, shine the light upon their dark hearts so that they can begin to see and begin to exploit all the amazing things that are locked up inside of them. I want to say thank you very much for making time to be here. I know it has been an amazing day for you, and still finding time
Yes.
to be here today. We do not take it lightly. Thank you very much. So, ladies and
Thank
gentlemen,
you.
I know you're excited to be here. Yes, I know you're excited to hear. I can feel the energy in the comments. Yes, yes. Esther is saying, "Welcome on board, Mr. John Iyoha."
Thank you, Esther. Esther Abraham. Okay.
Yes, Esther Abraham. Yes, awesome. So I'll just leave us in your hand to take us on this amazing journey, sir.
Don't abandon me. Let's have a conversation, please. Eh? Okay, but anyway, so to begin the conversation, since we are talking about business, it will be important to discuss what business is. Okay, so we already know, and I mean, many people from their concept would describe business as buying and selling. So now, the moment you describe business as buying and selling, it will mean that you have relegated it to two activities, and it's not so. What business is in essence is value. So business is one, the exchange of value, but before you exchange value, you have to create it first. So you find out that what we do in business is create value. Let me give you an example. Just a product show. So for example, this product now it's the big size, right? Before they brought about this, they had to what now? Think hard and say, okay, people were working with the smaller size beef before. Why are we going to make a jumbo a size now? Because people would translate this to be value. Why? Because it will last longer. And okay, there are certain houses that are big enough that having just a small pack would not work. So you find out that everybody who is in business goes through a very extensive and intensive process of creating value. So business first of all will be value creation, and then we'll follow closely with value exchange. What I try to tell my people here is this: is that you cannot exchange a value you did not create. So if I'm going to do well to exchange value, in fact, let me give you a small example. The reason why everybody is here listening to me is because somehow, you believe that I have value to share. So what that means is this: is that myself, men like Andrew, and many other people in this same space took out many years of our lives and decided to use all that time to create value. So, so that means even for humans, even for us here, we create value first. So after your stage of creating value, then you have the authority to go to the market to exchange value. So very important for us to know this, that a value you did not create cannot you cannot exchange. Now, again, you are thinking, okay, maybe Mr. John is speaking in difficult words, but check any example that you see. I mean, from the laptop that I'm using now, why did I choose it? Because I thought it was value. To the house that I'm staying in, why did I choose to stay here? Because I believe this is value. So, value is something that I have that I'm ready to pay something for. So that means if value is not properly created, you cannot exchange it. So every businessman should understand is that business is not just buying and selling. Buying and selling is the exchange part. You first of all have to create what you are going to buy and sell. So for us in business, the emphasis actually would be on the value creation. Value creation. And you find out that many of the jobs that we do, many of the jobs that we do in business, or they call you to work in some office, you realize heavily that that all what we are doing is value creation. So let me give you some. For example, you enter into a company, you're in a production unit, that's value creation. You are in human resource, that's value creation. You are in what now? You are in operations, that's value creation. Value exchange starts from sales, starts from advertising, marketing, but in some way, those activities are also value creation, because sometimes advertising is creating a perception that this thing is what the value that they claim it is. So you have to understand that these two major activities will be what we'll discuss earnestly here in today's session. It's going to be short, but it's going to be concise and very in depth. So that's what we're talking about in business. So every business person must understand the process of value creation. Every business person must understand the process of value creation. So a businessman, again, I said, is a value you did not create, you cannot exchange. Thank you, Esther. So every business person must understand this concept, that if the name of the game in business is value, then I must teach myself how to create the value. Now, it gets very, very special now. You have to understand that it's not just, we don't just stop at value creation. A good businessman, a businessman that would end up being profitable, is a businessman who, by all means, I mean a businessman or a woman, so let's just say business person. So a business person that is going to be the most profitable, or that's going to make the most revenue, is the person who creates the best value. So when we talk about value creation, we're not just talking about just whip up something, right? So if I sing today and my voice is good, it doesn't mean that I'm going to sell. What makes me somebody who's going to sell and make money from what I'm doing is that I'm not just singing, I'm singing better than most people sing. So business people need to understand this, that value creation by itself is not enough, is that I have to now create value better than anybody in the space is creating that same value. So once we learn this as business people, we'll now understand that when we talk about one, value creation, problem solving, we're not just talking about concepts in the air, we're talking about the fact that now this concept, problem solving, value creation, we speak about them with one word: innovate. So we all have to innovate. A businessman is not just a problem solver. A businessman in today's world is an innovator. So let me explain that. And I'm talking about one of the skills every business person should have: problem solving. Now, a businessman is not just solving problems. So first skill, what we're talking about now, is problem solving and innovation. That's one skill. A businessman is not just solving problems. He's solving problems better than anybody has solved them. So let me say that again. A good business person is not just solving problems. He's solving problems better than anybody can and has solved them. Once you realize this, you discover that, okay, I'm going to be something in the space, because the market will react positively to you. So let's try to understand this. I'm a business coach, and I train people about personal development. As far as you're an entrepreneur, I discover I think you should be better with your daily doings. I also train people on entrepreneurship. I do quite a lot of trainings now, but it will mean that I'm not just trying to train, I'm trying to stand out. Because if I'm going to innovate, then my methods must be better than any business coach that I know. So daily, as a business owner, I'm not just trying to solve problems for people. I'm trying to solve it better than anybody has solved it. So that's why we talk about innovation. That every businessman must be a problem solver and an innovator. What is innovation? Is that we're finding new solutions to old problems. New solutions to old problems. So that means we're on StreamYard now and we're having this conversation. But understand this, that before we did not have this. The people who discovered this said, okay, okay, you understand, people are doing virtual classes, but let's have this in such a way that people can have a session here, record, and then people can come back again and really enjoy themselves. So you find that they did not just decide to, oh, let's have a meeting link. No, they decided to do it better than anybody has and is doing it. So for every businessman, your priority is not to be good. Your priority is not to be better. Your priority is to be the best. That's what innovation teaches us. That every day you must daily improve. I tell my students this, that a businessman must be new every morning. A business person must be new every morning. There must be something in your head that says, okay, what can we do better? How can we have better results? Now, because every time we talk about innovation, many people's minds get trapped in technology. But it's more than that. It's just how can my methods get better? The way I greet my customers, can it get better? You go to Cold Stone and then you spend 15, 20,000. And I discovered that anytime that happens, they sing for me. I mean, I'm like, okay, that's actually fine. And sometimes it gets me happy. So you see that they're not just saying thank you, sir. They're not just saying, okay, take a coupon. No, no, no. They're saying, what more can we do? So they are singing, they're making me feel good. The customer service is top notch. So that by itself is somebody came up one morning and then said, you know what? Instead of telling customers thank you when they spend well, let's sing for them. So you understand that. So let me give you another small one. In Chicken Republic, when they want to call themselves, if you have noticed, they say nice, nice. They just say nice, 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 nice. And I'm like, okay. So you see that in some way, instead of saying Osaro or Matthew or what now, or Vivian, or they just say nice, nice. And the person knows who they are talking to. And they mention the person's stand, and you see that it's a more innovative way to communicate so that customers don't see us as a less. Abi? So for us as business people, innovation is very important. Ask yourself, all my business processes, which one can I make better? Now, if you have not started your business, simple now, that means you're in the right place. What I'm about to start, how can I modify it in such a way that is better than what anybody is doing? Simple. And for us, it's a priority because again, you really want to make money. So that should be a priority for you as a business person. Innovation. So one of the first skills we're talking about is innovation. First skills we're talking about in today's class is innovation. So problem solving and innovation. Mr. Andrew, do you have any question to ask me here, or do you have something that I should stretch on? Okay, I think your microphone is mute.
Okay, yes. Okay, so now we are particular about the future of work, right? And
Yes.
so our mindset here going further is that people need to begin to think like business owners in terms of
Yes.
the career, in terms of the careers that they have chosen. So even if
Yes.
you're not going to start a business, for example, go register a name, start a business, start to create a product and all of that, the mindset of you are a business owner, how does that translate into a career person, for example?
Okay, so I'm a business owner. How does that translate to being a career person? Wonderful. So that means every activity that I perform on a daily basis, I'm keeping check. Because a business person, there's a reason why we say not everybody can be an entrepreneur. Because we see characters in people and then we're like, oh my God, if this person runs a business, people will suffer. And we're not just talking about them or the business, we're talking about the individuals that will believe in their vision, they will suffer. Because you see that this person does not have any of the attitudes of a good business owner. So one, a business owner keeps records. So as somebody who is building his career, you are keeping record of your day-to-day activities. You have a to-do list, one. So I'm talking about things, these are features of an entrepreneur. You should please write it down. A business owner keeps records. Two, a business owner is passionate, whether it is their own or not their own. So some of us are doing projects for people, but you treat it like, oh, because it's not my own, I cannot be totally invested. The problem with thinking like that is the fact that you are building a culture for yourself. So when it's your own, you will discover that it's the same attitude that you show. So a business owner has a sense of ownership, because I want to consider it as more than just responsibility. A business owner has ownership to whatever project that they're a part of, whether it's somebody's own or not their own. So or their own. Now the point here is this. So if I'm somebody who has a business owner's mindset, whether I'm working for anybody or not, I'm going to treat it like it's my own. So I've spoken about a sense of ownership. I've spoken about record keeping. Now, when you're working for somebody, the third one is that a business owner is also, sorry, an individual who has an entrepreneurial mindset is also visionary. Is also very visionary. So you come to work on a Monday and then you're like, how can we be better? You're not just waiting for your boss to be the one to figure this out on a weekly basis. You are asking, sir, you are bringing up things and you're like, okay, this is something we can do to do this. So all of that is very important too. So somebody who has that business owner mindset, you're going to see many of these qualities. And the truth here is this: if somebody approaches work with these qualities, they will not work for too long, I assure you. Because you know why? People are going to trust them with projects, people are going to trust them with ventures. And before you know it, they will start to lead offices, they will start to be in charge because they are showing capacity. You don't wait to show capacity when it's just your own. Many of us, I give this example every time. I say part of what educated me to be a good boss to my staff is the fact that when I started working, I had a bad boss. And I learned from both good and bad experiences. And what my bad boss taught me was to never be like him. He used to wake me up by 2 a.m. and then he will ask me, who told you to sleep? Is this why we are paying you? And I start to do some report or some proposal. It was my first job. And in my mind, this man is wicked, right? I mean, and obviously he's a crazy person. But I mean, in some way that built me, and because usually it's the meaning we take from events, it's not the event. So I hope that has answered that, sir. I can't hear you.
I would like for you to thank you very much for the response, quite concise. Would like for you to speak to continuous learning, for example, because
Yes.
like you said, you experienced a very bad boss, right? Some other
Yeah.
person would take experience and create a meaning that makes them even worse than the boss.
Yeah.
Right? So what role would you say that continuous learning play in that? Right? That you go into and you have an experience, and then from that experience you take something different rather than the bad examples that were set.
So that's a powerful question there. Continuous learning makes me humble, right? Because you want to think that you know so much, and then you now see that, oh, there's somebody else who is like this, and when the person talks, you just will be quiet, and you tell yourself, man, you have to do more. So continuous learning gives you that thing where you know that, okay, in spite of the experience, this doesn't make me a finished product yet. I need to do more, I need to increase. What this helps me do is this, and I have this philosophy that there are no finish lines. There are no finish lines. So that means we're running a race with no finish line. So it could be exhausting, but of course, again, you're not running it with anybody. So that means you're not in competition except with yourself. But you have to continue doing better, but also understand that there are no finish lines. Because many times, once you choose to settle, you will notice that you are not settling, you are actually degrading. because everybody who is around you, who you thought you were not in the same race with, is going to go, and you're going to be here thinking that what you have is relevant for today. No, that was what was useful yesterday. So if I don't continuously learn, then I basically will fade out. In fact, in my business class, I force my students to say this. I say, tell yourself, innovate or die. And then people are like, no, sir, I'm not going to say that. I'm like, I'm telling you the truth. Innovate or die. Then I explain it and then say, as a business person, if I don't remain fresh every day, then I will not be relevant in the marketplace. Okay? So then like, oh, I see. And if I'm not relevant in the marketplace, then I'll be the next Ohomba line, the next Leventis, the next Agonifo Motors. I mean, for those of us who stay in this part of the country, we understand all these examples. In your part of the country, you know one person or one business who used to be relevant back in the day, like 4, 5, or 10 years back, but now they are a forgotten memory. Why? Because they failed to continuously learn from their experiences and continuously learn from their environment. So, quite important. Anybody who is not bent on continuous learning, person will soon fade out. I assure you.
Okay, thank you very much. So let's talk about business branding, because I quite read your bio, saw that you spoke in your bio. It was said that you have taught you teach a lot about business branding. So, for instance, we're talking about university students who are starting businesses on campus. University
Yes.
students who are enterprising, quite amazing, because in the university it feels like the time is not there, right? So
Yes.
for business students who are business people who are trying to stand out even as university students, what key things would you say concerning business branding that will help them stand out, not just in the student community right now, but also to life after campus and the rest?
Okay, beautiful here. First of all, just to tell university students, this is the freest time you will have in your life. But they don't know. They think they are busy now. So sometimes they come and do internship with me and say, "Sir, you are so busy." I'm like, "But you said the exam is making you busy." I mean, you basically have. There's no day you don't have 5 free hours. Some of us are just coming back from work now. We're jumping into meetings. We'll attend another meeting after. Then after, your wife will now remind you that we have not spoken since morning. You will now know that you are not a man by yourself. That's the whole point. But you find the students complain the entire time. I'm like, no, you're not busy yet. When you're busy, you will know.
No.
Because yeah, so you have time for your business, you have time for yourself. The problem is that many of them have no clue on what time management is. So I try to teach them on the time management matrix, that there's urgent and not urgent, there's important and not important. Find how to manage your activities. Many of the things that you're investing yourself into, you should either delegate or cancel. Because if you're doing all of that by yourself, you're not planning properly. Now I understand this. Sometimes I'm talking like this and I ask myself, John, did you have all this wisdom when you were in school? And the answer is no. But again, they are exposed to many resources now, and I will tell them, stretch your mind with time management. See how you can also increase your sense of enterprise, because again, like we repeat and tell university students, the university is your test market. Whatever
Yes.
you're going to give to society, test it out in school first. Because most of what they are teaching you in today's job market, the content or the concepts they are teaching you might not exactly work, but what would work is what you have exposed yourself to in your school days. But so something I talk about is the fact that many people like to experience failure for themselves first. because you have this entire conversation with young people and they think that there's something that you're not still telling them. I'm like, no, just practice this one first. Change your exposure. Every human being is in charge of his exposure. So whatever I expose myself to is my responsibility. So as a university student, I'm in this class now. My mind is expanding. The next time we're holding conferences in Uniben, I'm going there because honestly, and I'll tell you this, with what they are equipping you in school, it's not sufficient for where the market is going to right now. So, so the thing you must do is expose yourself to the correct things. And if you are starting a business, remember that the university is a good test market. So stretch it out there and then see what happens. But of course, I'm not saying you should embrace the failure. So attend meetings like this so that you know how business is properly done. And before you know it, you'll be seeing results. I know people in the university space who are making quite a lot of money now, just from obeying all these small things that we say. So I mean, I know some people who are making more money than myself, even. So thank you, sir.
Okay, let's stretch before we get into the questions that they have asked. Let's stretch that conversation on where business is going, right?
Yes.
Where career is going. Talking about the future of business, the future of work, right? Can you give us an insight into that conversation?
Okay, beautiful. So I'll say two things. Technology, one, business is going more into the technological space. Everybody knows this. But two, business is going into the personal branding space.
Mm.
So two things. Now the second one, you cannot even play with that part. You know, like somebody said, there's a reason why Tony Elumelu is dropping videos every day. Because there's a reason why Elon Musk is the most noisy person on his own app. Like he's dropping tweets every day. There's a reason, because people have seen that the human mind needs a personal touch, and that big brands in years to come will not be able to sustain themselves without having individuals in their forefront.
Mm.
The market is changing. So that means a person who wants to grow as a personal brand now, please learn communication. Learn communication. I mean, there's a reason why Andrew is doing well. There's a reason why I'm doing well. I can kneel down now and beg you, learn communication. Many of this, I don't want to insult Gen Z because I'm a good man. But you find many people saying, oh, I'm the silent type, I'm the quiet type. Nobody is doing anything with your silence.
I'm introverted.
I'm introverted, but you're broke. It doesn't work. You have to come out. You have to sell yourself because the market is going there. You will find out that the people who would be the most comfortable in years to come would be the personal brands. Look at all the billionaires that you know now. They were never in that mindset of being popular before. But now you know Ned Nwoko. You know him. You know Dangote. He speaks a whole lot more now. You know Elumelu. In fact, we buy from Dangote because of Dangote. We just trust him. You see the impact that the Obedient campaign made. Just that personal brand. I was at the Abuja airport, I think 6 months before the e- election, and Obi walked in and the whole place scattered. I mean, it's the power of a personal brand. Personal brands are powerful. Personal brands can fill up events. Personal brands can move the marketplace. And personal brands will be so important because very soon all your solutions AI would give you. And then people are going to look for human beings. And the human beings who have built their personal brands will excel. And you who can do the same thing that a computer can, you'll be relegated. So everybody must build their personal brand. The future is on personal brands. It's why the conversation about personal brands has increased so much, because everybody who is who studies consumer behavior, customer behavior, can see that that's where the market is going to now. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think
So
I've
let's
given
look at
an
the
answer
question.
that detailed about that question before.
Thank you
Yes,
very much,
please,
sir.
Andrew.
Let's
Thank
speak to
you.
the questions in the comment, and then we'll just wrap it up so we can release you
Oh,
for now.
no, no, it's fine. Please,
So
please.
as,
Join the
as a
conversation.
university,
You can.
awesome, awesome. As a university student with a business mindset, how do I create a balance in business and school activities? Someone is asking. Esther Abraham is asking.
Okay, I think we already addressed this. We said yes. We said do better with time management. So do better with time management. So I will tell you, look at the time management matrix, and now you would have to see what activities you have to put into place there. You need someone understanding into this. You can talk to Andrew or myself. Like put something down on any of my social media handles, and I'll see how to answer. I saw Francis is waving. Thank you, sir. That's my gal. Okay, Andrew. Should I just read the next
So the
one?
next, so the next question is, I heard one of my seniors say that if one is successful in business while in school, they'll be failing academically.
Ah,
But they
okay. I
cannot
don't know if
attempt
that's
this
a
one.
question. Okay, please shoot.
Okay, so I graduated from the Department of English and Literature Education, and that's I graduated with a 2-1. I was supposed
Fantastic.
if I put in as much effort as I wanted to, I would have graduated with a first class. But the thing about conclusions like this, the thing about internalizing this kind of comments from people is that it shapes your end before you even get there, right? So
Beautiful.
there are people who are even reading. As a matter of fact, I had colleagues in school then who were going to night class, but I did not attempt night class for once. And
Yes.
it's funny that even during my, I think in 300 level and 400 level, I did not read as much as many persons. Now, why
Yes.
am I saying this? I'm not saying this to say it's going to be the reality for everyone. I'm just saying that you have to sit down with yourself and ask yourself the questions that matter. Number one, how do I learn?
Yes.
Right? How do you learn? Because I found what really helped me was I already knew that, okay, I'm not someone who can sit for hours reading a book, especially when it's academic book. What
Yes.
I love best is to be in class and hear the
Yes.
teacher teach. So I
Yes.
made sure that every of my class, at least 98% of my classes I attended,
You attended.
right? And another thing I knew that I love to do is have conversations with people. So I brought book into that conversation. So we'll have like a few of us will meet somewhere, have conversations about what we've been taught, something like that. And that's really helped me. So a lot of the time, university students have the challenge of discovering themselves because they're already moving in groups. They have friends they are moving with. And so
Yes.
that, I think, now influences, their perception about work, about school, about
Yes.
projects and everything. And so you end up going for night class throughout and then failing. Meanwhile, your friend went for the same night class and is doing well. So what you need to do is first find out how you learn and then stay on it. Stay on it. How do you learn? Stay on it. So I'll leave it to you to answer, sir.
Okay. Okay. So it's better than the answer that I had. But so let me start from where you stopped. Many young people, many young people have honestly not understood themselves. So take for example, I was in 100 level and all my friends were going to 9 class. I was very excited about that. So I would come out and then read. I discovered that I read for 30 minutes, stroll to June 12 and buy Mishai for 25 minutes to 1 hour. I'll come back, I'll drink Pepsi, eat the Mishai, I'll get tired, I'll read another 20 minutes, then it's midnight, then I trek back to my room. And then in my mind, I've come out. So it was a lot of activity, but no results. Everybody's like, oh, John, you went to go and read. I'm like, yes. It was a bragging right that we were in ninth class. It was a bragging right that we're doing TBD. I think TDB, till daybreak. Exactly. So we're happy about all these things. But then one day, in my 300 level, I discovered that. So one of my friends said, let's go to John Harris, the library. So I said, okay, fine. So I went there. I discovered that the 30 minutes I felt like hours in a night class. Place was quiet. I carried my book and my pen, and I was studying, and everything was going in like this. Every point that I get, I will write it down. I discovered that, okay, wait, maybe night class works for some people, but this is my own. This is my own stuff. I should be doing this more. The moment I started doing that, I was reading for 1 hour, 30 minutes every day. And I saw that I was passing my exams. It was just sweet after that. So usually what people don't do again is time management. And just like Andrew said, a lot of us don't have any self-awareness. Who are we truly? What works for you? It's not the same thing as what works for your clique. Many of us are too quick to join into cliques in university and then let those cliques decide our destiny. So very importantly, know yourself. Secondly, build with methods that work for you. Third thing, and I will say this well, don't be hearing advice from madmen, because there are many people who want to use their failures to explain life to you. You know, they want to tell you, oh, you know what, because I failed when I was doing my business, it has now become the template. Oga, go and pack well. It's not true. It's not true. If we have a conversation with you, we are going to see 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 things you did not do. But now you are giving us doctrine saying that, you know what, if you do business in school, you will fail. There's no evidence for that. And if you are the only evidence, it's not admissible, because we don't know your full story. So again, like I said, as a young person, you are the one, and as a human being, you're the one that controls your exposure. Do well to control the people you're exposed to. One of the things that affected university life for me is that I entered into business administration, and the first week I was in campus, I sat down in faculty car park. 1 hour later, somebody came and then sat there with me. And the guy saw my excitedness, and the person said, "You be Jambite?" I said, "Yes, I'm a fresher." He said, "Okay, fine." He said, "Which department?" I said, "Business administration." The next thing he said was, "Ross, you go suffer." And in my mind, like I was terrified, because this was a final year student telling me that there's going to be difficulty on the way. I didn't have any other testimony. This was the only thing that I held in mind. So already going in there, I entered with some expectation of difficulty that I could not surmount. But I mean, later on, I mean, experience had to teach me. But I went through all that craziness because what I was exposed to in the beginning affected my mind. So I'll tell you, as a young person, you are the one who controls your exposure. Do well to find the best influence for your mind. Thank you, Andrew. Okay. So there's a question here from Esther saying, from your teaching, you said we should be the best amongst all. What if you find yourself in a place whereby almost everyone does the same business? What do you do in order to stand out? You find a place, you find yourself in a place where people do almost the same business. What do you do to stand out? There are a few things that make a business stands out. One would be location. So your location could be so important that it brings all the market to you. Case in point, stop to shop. Nadia, they are very well located, so they get the bulk of the market. Now, something else that can also help you is availability. That means anytime we call you, you're available. That's why you find many stores putting 24-hour service or we deliver 24/7. So availability can help you. Next thing, and I'm saying all this from my knowledge on customer behavior. Next thing would be convenience. Customers want convenience. That's why the delivery method is working well. That people can now use logistics to move products from point A to point B. What this means is this is that customers are ready to pay the extra price if they have to get their products conveniently. This is something that we must all try. Convenience is key in this game. Another thing that can help you is quality. So if you boast about your quality, everybody now knows. So take for example, MTN is not cheap, but their service is quality. So you find out that in a very tight market, they stand out. So this is something that can also benefit you as a business person. Andrew, can you hear me, please? Okay. So all of these things can help us as business people, and these are some of the things that we must try. Okay. So do we have any other questions? Esther, if there's a question, just bring it up. I think so we've spoken exhaustively about this qualities that every entrepreneur should have. I've mentioned quite a few, but if you have questions, this will be the time to bring those questions up. I'll be here to listen. Okay. Is it normal for someone not to be interested in business? Or Kodua Victory is asking. The answer is yes. Entrepreneurship is not for everybody. Business is difficult. So yes, it's possible that I'm not interested in business. Very possible. So that's something that we must know as business people. Let me take some other questions now. Okay, 1 second, everybody. Joy, waiter. That person is my friend, though. For those of us not good at managing failure, how do we handle ourselves? For example, I venture into a business and end up not making it. Now, how to come out of that mental trauma? Now, the truth here is this: failure happens in business, but it necessarily doesn't have to be your failure. Let me explain. Now, for whatever you're trying to do in business, you're not the first, you're not the second, you are not the 1,000th, you are not the 100,000 person that is trying it. What that means is this: is that many other people have failed before you. Therefore, your failure is not necessary. Yes. So failure happens in business, and we should learn from failure. But your failure is not necessary. Stop having conversations with people who tell you that everybody must fail. No, some of us will learn from other people's failure. Now, so what you must do as somebody who's starting up in business, if the trauma of failure is so great, then you must teach yourself about other people who have tried this business and did not succeed. Once I can teach myself this, then I put myself in a place where I don't have to fail the failure that other people have already failed. If you understand my language, I don't have to fail the failure that other people have already failed because I have learned from it. Because me, I'm not a trainer that will idolize failure and say before you must go far in business, you must fail 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 times. No, you can learn from other people's failures. And when you learn and learn well and work and then run your business with the help of consultants, you will see that there's so much more you can be. You necessarily don't have to fail. Okay. So that's wonderful. Is it normal for someone not to be okay? Failure happens in business, but you don't have to be the one failing. Beautiful. Anti-fragility is learning from others' failure. Beautiful. New failures can be a source of innovation. They can breed masterpieces. Yes, very sound person. Joy. Thank you. Now, Esther is asking, from your teaching, sir, you said we should be the best amongst all. What if you find yourself in a place whereby almost everyone does the same business? Okay, I think we've already answered this. So thank you. Andrew decided to abandon us, but he's back now.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, let me highlight some of the questions.
Okay, I've answered some of them
Thank
though.
you. Well, the network has been wonderful. So I'm going to highlight, I think we have one question here about, okay, someone said, for those of us not good with
I've
managing
already
failure,
answered.
how do we handle our? Okay, you've attended to this?
Yeah, I've already attended to that.
Okay.
Yeah,
So I think
that's why
we're
Joy
done with the question.
has all the quotes on failure.
Okay, yes. New failures can be source of innovations. They can breed masterpieces. Awesome. Thank you very much for your time, sir. I really appreciate. Joy Iweta is with us. That's our global team director. Joy,
She's
thank you
fantastic.
for being. Okay. Thank you very much, sir. We really appreciate your time with us today. We
Thank
look
you, Andrew.
forward to um, more exciting experiences with you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Okay. Take care, everybody.